Hello everybody, happy holiday glam time to you. I'm so excited to be doing this makeup look today. We got all in the festive spirit. I got a little holiday top on, I got a holiday hairdo. My little sister Amelia actually did my hair. Very thankful for her on this day because I wanted a cute little bow after I saw this look. I'm sorry, this hair look. I mean, it's not showing it so well, but I really wanted to zoom into the bow. So cute. So this was our best attempt at that. My hair, I've got a lot of baby hairs, a lot of flyaways, so we did our best. But it definitely got me feeling festive. I hope it makes you feel festive. And today we're gonna be doing a holiday inspired makeup look using all drugstore makeup. Top request here. It's 100% drugstore affordable makeup products, and we're gonna do a fabulous, sparkling, easy glam, always, makeup look. So just in case anything goes awry, I'm gonna start with the eyes. I was actually really inspired by the makeup look that the fabulous Rachel makeup artist did on my face when we were in Toronto doing a photo shoot with Armane. I just loved the dark smoky eye. I did a really similar look last year, my New Year's Eve makeup, but I loved it so much. So we can play and try to make it happen with our drugstore makeup. So I picked up a few new products, but I also dug through my stash, and you will recognize a lot of these if you've been with my channel for some time. So I'm actually gonna start with this lovely little eyeshadow palette here from e.l.f. This is the Truffles Bite Size eyeshadow palette, and I love this one because we have our 3 matte basic shades, our little brown shades. I'm just gonna go from lightest to darkest. I'm just gonna start by building up the eye with the shadow. I'm not gonna put anything else on the eye. I don't think we need a primer or anything. I'm just gonna go straight in. So I'm gonna start by using the lightest shadow, and I'm gonna go all along the lash line. And I'm gonna do the same on the lower lashes. And the premise, the idea of this is that we just wanna pull the V. We wanna pull the V out of the eye, and for my eye shape anyway, and when I do these more like grungy, smudgy, smoky looks, I just find that that's the most flattering shape to do, so I kind of just drag it out. And one thing that I find I do often is I will go too high. I have this like little ball of skin right there, and I kind of try to use that as a reference point to drag out from there. And we can always clean it up later, but that's where I'm gonna start the pull, if you will. And once you get the hang of doing this, it's pretty foolproof, honestly. It's one of my favorite go-to looks to do when I am getting a little bit more jazzed up, a little bit more holiday, and it's a little bit more stress-free because when you're getting ready, the pressure is on, you have to be somewhere. It's nice to just have these go-to looks in your back pocket. So now I'm taking the deeper shade, the deeper brown, and I'm just gonna layer that on top. Just build up this color. I'm kind of trying to avoid relying too much on eyeliner here, which I know is the opposite of what we normally do. Usually we start with the eyeliner and blend some shadow on top, but this is actually how Rachel did my makeup that day for the shoot. She started with the eyeshadow and then she just added the eyeliner on top afterwards, and I think it had a really nice effect. So that's what I'm trying. We're doing it a little bit backwards here today, but I'm always down to try a new technique. Oh, I just smudged myself, oops. One thing that I forgot is my Q-tips. That is okay, we'll use a brush, but if you can, have some Q-tips on hand. My plan was to go in with the black, but I'm also kind of loving the brown here. I'm gonna take a clean blending brush and just blend those edges out, kind of soften it all up. And then I'll just clean up some of those edges. I'm gonna dip into this Revlon palette. It's called That's a Dub, number 961. And I'm going for this creamy shade here. It's creamy, but it's got a tiny little bit of like glow to it, which is very nice. And I'm just gonna layer that on top. I'm gonna put that into the inner part of the eye. Could I maybe have done this first? Yes, but I just thought about it now. So here we are. Then going back into this palette, I'm just gonna take a tiny little teeny dab of the lighter brown, and I'm just gonna run that through the crease a little bit. Now for the fun part, we're gonna go in with the black liner. This is a Revlon So Fierce Vinyl Eyeliner, Midnight Mystery Black. I don't know how this is gonna be on the inside of my waterline, which is why I'm starting with the eyes before anything else so we can see how it goes. But ideally we would use a kohl pencil, but use what you have, any black eyeliner. We're just gonna rim it all, everyone. Put it all in the waterline. I just drew a line on the top of my eye. Oh my God. And once we're done doing the inner waterline, we're just gonna trace as thinly as we possibly can on top of our lash line. I wanna keep this as thin and smoky as I possibly can. So I'm just doing a tiny, tiny little bit along my lashes, on the lower and the upper lashes. This is proving to not be a great eyeliner for this, by the way. It's setting really quickly, so it's not the greatest for blending. I had high hopes for it, honestly, because it's part of the So Fierce collection and the eyeshadow palettes are so good. I was like, oh, this is great. They had a black and they had a gray. I was like, stunning. But alas, no. So what I'll do to save this, because that is not cute. I'm just gonna go back to the little bite-sized shadow palette. I'm gonna take an even smaller brush and I'm just gonna dip into the black eyeshadow and we will just blend that on top. Elf saves the day. Just clean up the edges again. I feel like I need a little bit more smoky smoke on the lower lashes. Again, the eyeliner wasn't the greatest, but I think what I'll do is just touch that up after we do the face. But I'm loving the smoke on the top. I think we've got a good little effect. Now I wanted to add a little shimmer on top. I picked up this Physicians Formula little sparkle palette, but honestly, I know you guys are gonna kill me because I use this all the time. It's my go-to, but the ColourPop Mighty Morphin Super Shock Shadow, I feel like this is it's just superior, and it's also way cheaper than that. So I'm gonna go into this and we're gonna be very, very precise with this. I just want a little bit of shimmer basically on top of where I put that cream shadow. I don't want to put this everywhere. I just want a little bit of sparkle right on this inner part of the lid, just to add a little bit of extra bedazzle, and it's so pretty. Oh! So I'm just trying not to apply it above the crease, and I'm also trying to not cover too much of the smoky eye that we've created, and just do a little bit of sparkle. A little holiday shimmer. Also, if you wanted to make this a dark, sparkly smoky eye, the darker black in there would actually be really pretty too. But I'm just in my like highlighted era. I'm just liking brightening up that inner part, and you know. Anyway, let's move on to the face, the base. I've got my face lotion on. I used a little bit of Embryolisse to prime. Then, you guys, the shade of Lumi Glotion that I always use is the shade 902. Went to the drugstore, saw that they had 901. This definitely could be something I've used before, but if it is, then, you know, I was reacquainted. And because I am very pale, we're gonna use this as a base. And the Lumi Glotion is like my favorite drugstore alternative to any kind of high-end glowing base. It's so pretty. It goes on so well on the skin. It sits so beautifully under other products, and it just like there's no chunky glitters, which I think is a big thing. So many even high-end glowing bases can have those chunky glitters, and that's what you want to avoid, especially if we have a lot of texture and pores. It's just like that's a no-no. So just using this to add more glow. I got that on my lips. Oops, sorry. And then for the pores, speaking of, the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer I have used and loved, claimed that as my favorite pore primer. They came out with a liquid version. Look at that, liquid version. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this. Wow, honestly, the texture is incredible. I'm gonna use this around my nose and just this part of under my eyes. This is where all my pores are. And it gets a little wild and crazy. Just use the excess and kind of pat it around, but how exciting that they have a different variation of that. Love the e.l.f. primers. For my base concoction, I picked up a fresh new bottle of the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. I'm gonna apply this first because I was curious to see. It was blending out so beautifully on my hands, but if I want a little bit more coverage, I also have the L'Oreal True Match. This is the super blendable foundation. We'll see how we feel and we can build up the coverage if need be. Now, I'm just gonna rub this on. Perhaps I could have done that a little bit more hygiene friendly, but what I really want to focus on with this base is doing as little as possible. I do want it to be very, very fresh and glowy because I find for myself, when I'm doing these really intense dark smoky eyes, if I go too heavy, even slightly on my base, I feel like I just have too much makeup on. I like to keep it as neutral and clean as possible on the rest of the face when I'm doing this ultra dark makeup. I'm just gonna switch to a brush for a second, but yeah, it allows you to be like super dark and smoky, but still feel like really fresh and glowy at the same time. Then I'm gonna use the NYX Bare With Me Serum Concealer. And I'm actually gonna use an eyeshadow brush to apply this just because I don't want to rub away any of the smoky eye that we've created. I wanna make sure that I'm really precise with this. I mean, to ruin anything, but I'm gonna go and apply this wherever I feel like I want extra coverage, which is usually just the entirety of the center of my face. Let's move on to contour. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Beauty Wand. Oh, this is the Fairlight contour. If I need a darker one, we can use the deeper one. I also have the putty bronzers, which I just think, again, e.l.f. just really, they just did so well with these. The formulas, oh, they're so pretty. I might want to mix, honestly. I kind of go through phases with contour. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I do just like a little bit more of the bronzer feeling. So I'm going to use light medium as well, add this into the mix. So like this one's quite warm, the contour is quite cool, and the little mix of the two will just be a nice shade, I think. I used to use the really, really gray powders. Back in the day, we used to just love the really, really gray powders when it came to contour, and I just found myself resting somewhere in the middle with my everyday makeup and my makeup preferences. I do just enjoy a little in between, so not too cool, not too warm, but something that I can bronze and contour with at the same time, especially when I'm using cream products. If I'm going over with like a powder bronzer, obviously I want that to be a little bit more warm. Maybe I have a little bit of shimmer in it, but otherwise I think that's making quite a lovely little shade. Now we are talking holiday glam, so I do want to be chiseled to the heavens. So I'm really focusing this on the cheek, making sure that I get that nice cheekbone structure. And now my hairline is exposed, so I'm gonna have to make sure I get really, really in there. Love where the base is going. Now I'm switching it up a little bit, doing a bit of a wild card because normally I would want something very neutral for a blush, but I saw this Pixie on the Glow blush. I've seen so many people use this pink shade. This is the shade Fleur. I'm sorry, look at that pink. Is that not the most perfect pink you've ever seen in your life? I've seen so many people rave about these blushes. I was so excited to try, and I just had to pick it up. Apply this on. When I was rubbing it on the back of my hand, it looked so juicy and so glowy. Oh, yeah, it's so light. That's really nice. I was a little bit scared that it might be a bit too pink, but that's beautiful. Now, because this is an extra glam look, what I'm doing is I'm not actually bringing the blush fully forward like I normally would. Usually I cut the whole apple of my cheek and bring it onto my nose, but I'm actually keeping this one focused on the outside of the face, which, might I stress again, the glow of this blush is beautiful. Wow, I'm putting that in my everyday bin. For sure. It's a very natural pink too, which I like. It's not too thick, it's not too pigmented. Really like just a juicy little touch of pink. Just a little slight. We can always see how that layers up on top after, but I'm gonna start there and then we're gonna go in with powder. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation in powder, just because this is gonna give us that nice extra kind of layer of coverage. It's gonna give us that full glam feel, and it's also the perfect shade to complement the foundation. And I'm having a little bit of a hive moment here under my eye, so I kind of do want a little bit of extra coverage, and instead of piling on the concealer in waves, I can just double up with this powder. So I'm just applying that starting under the eyes, and then I'll take a little bit around the mouth too, and just on any areas on the face where I want to reduce shine. So I really love the glow that we have going here, but I just like to keep in mind the smallest amounts. I'm dipping into the powder, I'm dipping it onto the palm of my hand, and then I'm applying it. And that's how I have found is the best way to apply, because I have really, really dry, cracky skin, and it can be very easy to go overboard with powder. So by doing this, it just helps to keep the layers nice and light. Lovely. I think we can go in with a little bit more blush. I'm just gonna do another layer on top. Just a tiny little bit, nothing too crazy. But then I will go back and use another e.l.f. Halo wand. This is the highlight in the shade Champagne. What I like to do with this, because it is a sponge and this can apply a little bit too much, I just put that onto the palm of my hand. And then you can use a tiny little brush or just blend it out with your finger. And I'll use my finger to just dab it right onto the top of the cheekbone. Just whoop. Whoop. And we'll do a little bit on the tip of the nose as well, and just blend that around. Lovely. I feel like this is going way too fast. I'm gonna look back at the footage later and be like, oh no, what did I do? But what I am gonna do is just take an eyeshadow brush and just kind of bring the eyeshadow back. I'm just gonna blend this out a little bit because we kind of lost it by adding coverage. So just softening that up a little. And I'm also gonna dip back into our palette here, grab this brown and our small fluffy little brush, and just, now that we've done the concealer, just bring a little bit of the smoke and softness back here. Now I'm really excited about the lip combo because e.l.f. did a collaboration with Jennifer Coolidge, and they came out with the Dirty Pillows lip collection. I thought that was so cute. It's very perfect and nice and nude and a little bit of sparkle in there. I thought it would be lovely to complement our lovely smoky eye here. So I'm gonna start with the lip pencil, which is this lovely neutral light brown. We can put this lip combo on and we'll practice our bend and snap after. I love seeing people do Jennifer Coolidge impersonations. I so badly wish I could do her voice. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. But I can't do it. I can't get the tone right. Sorry, I did a really weird little thing with my lip liner here. This is such a pretty color. Wow, it's like a perfect marriage between my Victoria Beckham 02 and the NYX Nude Beige. I just like that on its own, honestly. Oh, it's such a nice color. Fill Frontal. Sorry, I guess that's the shade. This is the Dirty Pillows lipstick, so we'll just put a little bit of this. Oh, it's like a really nice peachy nude. Just dab that on the center. And then finally we have Swollen, the lip gloss, the third piece in the Dirty Pillows set. And we'll just put a little bit of this on the center of the lips as well. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Whoa, whoa. Oh my God, I love this makeup look. So that's a little lip combo. Lovely nude, actually very, very similar to the lip that Rachel did on me on the shoot as well. This kind of 90s little nude moment. I love it. That's tingly. I guess that's why it's called Swollen. Definitely a lip plumper. I'm getting the tingles. Now for mascara, I actually got this Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High mascara. I got this in a PR package. And it's waterproof, which is not ideal for my personal preference. However, if we're talking holiday glam and we want our mascara to stay put all night long, then I guess it's perfectly fitting. So let's do that. This wand is lovely. Okay, and with a look like this, we definitely gotta hit a bit of the lower lashes. Oh my gosh, how could I forget my chesticles? I'm gonna take the e.l.f. highlight and put that on my collarbone and also my shoulder. We got a highlight there for sure. I'm just gonna take my foundation brush and blend that in. Okay. Let me just fix my little bow here. Honestly, I thought I'd be giving child, but I actually love the bow. I think it's very fun, very cute. It makes me wanna play a little bit more and play with some girly looks in my hair. What do you guys think? This is the finished look. I'm obsessed with it. This is, as you guys know, definitely one of my favorite looks that I love to pull out, especially during the holiday season. I think this classic extra smoky, extra sparkly smoky eye paired with this new little combo. It's the perfect go-to glam for the holidays, and it's using all affordable products as well. Would love to hear what you guys think of this makeup look. What do you think of some of the products I used? And I hope that you enjoyed getting ready with me today. Thank you so much. I hope you guys love the look. Happy holidays to you. Happy LANMAS. I hope you're feeling festive, and I'll see you all tomorrow for a new LANMAS video. Thanks for watching. Bye!